Concord, a 7 with 92 user ratings, giving it a 4.9. Highguard, a 7 with 62 user ratings, giving it a 5.2. Mixtape, a 10, a masterpiece, a musical delight from start to finish. Mixtape sets a new standard for coming-of-age stories in video games and does so with a masterful sense of style. Gaming Trend gave it a 10, CG Magazine a 10, DualShockers 10, Well Played 10, Xbox Tavern 10, Day 1 10. This has to be the best game ever. And if we look at the Steam charts, I'm sure we're going to see some massive numbers. Oh, about 2,000 all-time peak. But this was estimated to make 13,000 copies on Steam alone. But 2,000 isn't even close. I'm sure you've seen the clips of Mixtape being played by streamers, but I don't really care. This isn't really about Mixtape or streamers at all. I haven't bought it or played it, but I have seen plenty of streamer clips I got on my scrolling feed, so I know it's short, roughly 3 to 4 hours, and it's very, well, not interactive. It kind of plays itself at parts, with little player input. Either way, I don't really feel comfortable telling you my opinion on it. For one, I don't want to spend money on a game that I know I probably won't like, and unlike IGN, I know that giving my opinion online and putting a few multi-syllable words like gubernatorial, hemorrhoid, erectile dysfunction, my opinion is going to be taken and weighted in the opinions of others that may be deciding whether or not to try a game out, and can skew others' opinions, and then they will go online and give their version of my opinion as their opinion and blah 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 blah. And then we get another total implosion like Highguard. I can't help but feel a little deja vu as we might get yet another game highly rated by IGN and other critics, which is really not as good as the one reviewer thinks it is. But with everything I have seen, low player engagement, short length, a general disgust for the tongue part, No. Wait. Why would IGN give it a 10? Now I can't go any further than say it's a game that obviously uses a certain generation's easily manipulatable nostalgia to get better opinions and ratings, which is banking on the player growing up with this specific fashion style, music, culture, etc. Clearly IGN thinks this game is great, and there's nothing really wrong with that. You can like what you like, that's fine. Unless you're a critic. You have something called journalistic integrity. Now I have actually played all of the campaign for Battlefield 6, and honestly, I liked it a lot. It was a fresh return to the original blueprint that made people love Battlefield. However, the same person that thinks making teenagers wrestle tongues is a masterpiece thinks that Black Ops 7 had a 1 point higher score than Battlefield 6. To completely dismantle this argument that Black Ops 7 had a slightly better campaign than Battlefield 6, I need exactly one clip from both games.
What was that?
Might have an answer.
Maybe we can poke this out.
What the hell is even that? No, we made it!
Hold on! Blake, you okay?
I can still shoot.
Armstrong, Martinez.
I think my leg's broke, but I'm still here.
Armstrong, come on, buddy.
till we get clear.
We got incoming.
Oh, fuck, they're cutting us off.
This is Tempest 1-2 actual. Any friendlies in range? We need immediate evac. Any station.
Murph, what's the plan?
Unconquerable spirit. They gave us that motto for a reason. This is it. I'm going down fighting. Watch each other's backs. No matter how it ends. It's been an honor. We still faithful?
Always.
On my lead. Get ready to fend. Let's give them hell.
Coming in on all sides!
Hold! We go out on our feet! Martinez!
Oh, shit!
Fuck! Make 'em work for it!
Oh, fuck this. And fuck you!
Damn it!
No retreat! Hold fast! Travis! No! No, you're okay! It's like before! Blake, Martinez. I'm on your six, guys. Wait for me. We gotta go. You all right?
Now you tell me, exactly which one of these games pays more respect to the fan bases? Which one of these pays more respect to the previous installments? Which one is better? I know my answer, and it's obviously Battlefield 6, because they didn't pull any giant epic boss fight bullshit. Yes, Battlefield 6 had a short campaign. Yes, it's nothing new. Yes, it's not groundbreaking, and it doesn't have multi-layered emotional storytelling. But why would it? It was clear that the campaign for Battlefield 6 was not the main focus for what it is. It was the multiplayer mode, because that's what everyone wanted. Big open maps with two massive teams fighting against each other. So of course the campaign wasn't going to be Citizen Kane, and it isn't. But sometimes we don't want Citizen Kane, or Breaking Bad, or Spec Ops The Line. Sometimes the consumer just wants John Wick, Happy Gilmore, or the Rabbids. None of these say anything other than sit back, relax, and enjoy. You're not supposed to be intellectually tested on the sub-themes of a theatrical play with this kind of entertainment. Just be entertained by the action, the comedy, the jokes, whatever makes it actually entertaining. Which is why I say don't compare apples to oranges or even apples to apples. Just enjoy the apple or the orange. They both taste good. But what if the apple tastes like fucking shit? When it comes to Battlefield 6's campaign, Simon says, quote, a safe, dull reimagining of what Battlefield once was, rather than the bold reinvention of what it could be. But for Call of Duty, we get a wild one thanks to the scope of its ambition, but the big swings it takes don't always land, leaving it an uneven step down from last year. Really, Simon? Fighting a giant in Call of Duty is ambitious to you? How about stupid? And a complete bastardized representation of what Call of Duty is. But since it's ambitious, giving it that extra point makes so much more sense. To you, the game that respected the history of the franchise is worse than the game that butchered itself. Conveniently enough, we can't see the actual user ratings on these campaigns because it's not a review of the game as a whole. Apparently, they don't feel the need to ask users. And this isn't the first time IGN has pulled something like this. Like I said, Concord and Highguard both had good scores, but ultimately failed when they released, for one reason or the other. Lollipop Chainsaw gets a 5, Crimson Desert a 6, Stellar Blade a 7, Mouse PI for Hire a 6. All of these games are already deeply loved by their own communities. But IGN gives their higher ratings to things like Veilguard, Marathon, and Dustborn. So what's going on here? Well, I can't go into specifics because I don't know. So this is all speculation and theory, and most likely completely wrong. But I think they've been bought and paid for. This isn't like a wild and completely out there theory. Bribery makes sense, but who's paying? I don't know. It could be the publishers. I doubt it's the developers. Or maybe it's just the review company paying more for specific games to be rated in a certain way. Or, more logically, and a little less wild of a take, they're politically motivated to give a thumbs up to certain topics in gaming. And I don't really want to get into politics, but I can't avoid them in this topic. I believe that politics have no place in any kind of entertainment medium, games, movies, whatever. Because when you put a political opinion in something, it becomes propaganda, not entertainment. I don't want to talk about these things because I don't like talking about them. But since I'm talking about IGN, I have to. Because IGN definitely loves this shit. Do you know how I know IGN loves this shit? Because Veilguard gets a 9. Quote, refreshes and reinvigorates this storied series with enjoyable action combat, a fantastic cast of companions, and moving character writing. Are you fucking kidding me? The writing that treated you like an idiot? The writing where the characters' names were spoken every other line to drill it into the player that you care about these people. The writing where the player can't say anything mean. The writing that had us meandering aimlessly and ignoring key details that are quite frankly really important. The writing that forced us to go through this?
Thank you.
So, I'm non-binary.
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
If this is because I have criticized your dress or your manners...
It isn't!
Who wants to sit through this? Politics aside, identity aside, this isn't put into a game for the sake of fun. This isn't put into the game for the sake of the story. This is nothing other than taking a political topic, and it is political, and inserting it into a game to market it to a specific group of people. It worked on IGN, and it worked on plenty of other people. The important thing about making a game is asking yourself, is this fun? Does this feature make the game fun? Because I can't imagine wanting to sit through with this character we don't know very well while they have an awkward conversation. And the game itself was fine. I enjoyed the combat and the exploration, but I couldn't handle the incessant dialogue and the fact that I couldn't say no. What is the point of an RPG if I can't do something? I have to be nice to every character because being mean is controversial, but this politically charged topic isn't. It's a double standard. All I wanted to do was play the game, but they did such a horrible job introducing these characters and even trying to get me to like these characters. They were all so annoying. We can't talk about games with political propaganda filtered into them without talking about Dustborn, a game literally funded by political parties. And that game was terrible. Poor writing, poor characters, bad gameplay. Just look at how Oni Plays handled the game.
And grudgingly, desperately seeking liberty, hardy, headstrong, they already used that, did they? Resourceful, doesn't easily make friends.
Gets angry very easily.
Vocals
Where's that fucking
provoke
thing?
strong emotions.
Has no likable attributes.
Is nasty, unpleasant, doesn't make friends easily, is stupid.
Is main character.
Yeah. What is this a game? Is this even a real game? What is this?
Became a, this just became a
Press
rhythm.
B.
Became a rhythm
Oh,
game.
thank God.
Is this the game? What the fuck are we playing, dude? What is this?
I don't know, it's like a sing-along, I guess.
Come
I
on.
remember seeing her
Did you
beating
guys-
people up.
You don't want to play this?
I just don't know what this fucking
You sing
is.
along. Sing
That was
along if you
perfect.
know what I mean.
And what did IGN give it? A fucking 7. And when you look at user ratings, they couldn't even get 20 people to take time out of their day to post their review. It took 18 user ratings and it only got a 3.9. Maybe everything that I said before was a bunch of bullshit. None of it was true. And now that I'm done talking about a topic that completely bores me, let's just transition to something that isn't speculation at all. This is something I can say that is definitely true with IGN and other critics. They're incompetent, stupid, and moronic, and they desperately try to portray themselves as the opposite. Here is every clip I could find of a video game critic failing to grasp a video game function.
There we go. You're gotta be kidding me. I'm falling. I can't, dude. All I wanted to do was drop. He was dropping, but then he just does a million random fucking moves. Are you fucking kidding me? All I want to do is drop, but the games could, I'm telling you, the controls just aren't very good. The controls are very annoying.
You know what? No. That's too fair. Showing you just a bunch of clips is too fair and too nondescript of what I'm trying to say, what's wrong with IGN and these critics. Let's just look at how IGN likes to start talking about a game like Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders is blisteringly, aggressively archetypical, the extractionist extraction shooter that ever extracted. It's one of the least surprising games I've ever played, holding so much in common with its inspirations they're almost comically indistinguishable. For preview purposes, this is a very good thing. If you enjoy other games about scavenging goods while avoiding PvE foes and robbing PvP humans, you're probably going to like Arc Raiders. If you don't, then there's likely nothing new here to tempt you. This is a game so unabashedly tied to its progenitors that the hero's default melee weapon is a pickaxe, the same weapon Fortnite metaverse heroes dropping off of battle buses lug into combat. That's a cute enough homage, but it's only the tip of the iceberg for the ways Arc Raiders will be instantly comprehensible for those who play Battle Royale, tree-punching survival games, or extraction. There's very little that feels truly original, but the components bolted together from other successful live service games click predictably and produce a satisfying result.
Just because you put those big words in doesn't make you an intellectual. It doesn't make you right. And it makes you come off as pretentious, not intelligent. Now let's go back to the funny clips.
Even the smallest bots can prove surprisingly dangerous, especially in groups. There's also some part of crafting that involves a live rooster. I never figured that part out. 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 I never figured that part out.
I'm not going to sit here and just keep rambling on about this and talking about games that have already been talked to death about, so I'm going to end it with this. IGN loves political topics being inserted into games, particularly the woke side of political ideologies, more than they love games. They prefer having some form of virtue signaling in their reviews than actually talk about the quality of the game. IGN loves propaganda, not games. So thanks for watching. My next video is definitely going to be a review for 007 First Light, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoy my psychopathic rambling, be sure to give a like and maybe subscribe if you want to see more. Now, if you will excuse me, I have to go inform my adopted Chinese son that he will never be the next Michael Jordan.